The Season 5 premiere of Yellowstone proved to be quite intense, from Easter eggs involving the last days of Rome to a band's appearance that was already teased, and even some hidden meanings in Angela Blue Thunder's remarks. Here's everything you missed in the first 2 episodes of Season 5. Enjoy the video and the spoilers. The Duttons started this season as they always do, with a lot of drama and, well, tragedy. For those who haven't seen the 2 episodes yet, you might want to come and watch this video a bit later because we're about to dive into some pretty big spoilers. So the 5th installment starts off with a 9-month time jump. We've noticed this because Monica, a character portrayed by the amazingly talented and beautiful Kayce Asbel, revealed her pregnancy at the very end of Season 4, and at the beginning of the new season, she's about 3 weeks from her due date. These 9 months proved to be quite successful for the new governor, John Dutton, played by the legendary Kevin Costner. John's successful political campaign helped him become the new governor as he was fighting against his son. At the very beginning of episode 1, we're following John on his election night, and then viewers discovered that he won because all of his competitors congratulate him. He then gives a speech that actually left us speechless. As the new governor, John will try to do everything in order to keep Montana and his coveted ranch unmolested by corporate outsiders. So what is Jamie doing all this time? Well, he seems pretty mad about John becoming a governor, while his sister Beth looks at him with victory in her eyes. Interestingly enough, viewers also saw Angela Blue Thunder, played by Koryanka Kilcher, in the audience at John Dutton's victory speech after he becomes governor of Montana. For those who forgot, we haven't seen Angela since the 3rd season of the series. What does this mean? Well, her sudden reappearance could only mean one thing. She'll do everything, literally everything, to destroy John, especially his new-formed career as a politician.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear.
In the 3rd installment of the series, Angela worked with Thomas Rainwater, played by Jill Birmingham, and the Broken Rock Indian Reservation. They tried to get the land they see as theirs, but they had to stop asking for what they think belongs to them when Rainwater declined to break the law to do so. You had a chance to be rid of him, you did nothing, and he grew stronger. It's the slave rules for you now, and it's all your fault, she says to Rainwater while John gives his speech, but Angela is not the only person John should keep an eye on this season. One duo not celebrating John Dutton's winning the gubernatorial election, Market Equities CEO Caroline Warner, Jackie Weaver, and her fellow Elise Steele, portrayed by John Emmett Tracy, are also hearing what John has to say about his future governor days. Once John finishes his victory speech, Caroline acts a bit suspicious by throwing her drink against the wall. She seems pretty angry as she screams, while doing so, he'll shut us down one day. Ellis then points out to a sad Jamie on the TV screen and says, "Look at him, his father's the governor, he'll be next. This should be the happiest day of his life, so why isn't he smiling?" Well, he's not smiling because his father did this only so he won't become a governor. An event that would separate the Duttons was exactly what Caroline has been waiting for, and what she said after seeing Jamie proves that she will also do everything in order to bring this man down. Get Sarah Atwood out here, we're taking the gloves off, Ellis. I'm tired of playing with these fucking hillbillies. Just imagine this, if Jamie joins forces with Market Equities, we can only imagine the things they'll do to John. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to see so many people wanting to bring John down in the very first episode of Season 5, but here we are. Preparing for many intense storylines that will follow in the upcoming episodes. Now let's go back to Jamie and his uncertain future. Do you guys know what time it is? It's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. Back in the very first episode of the series, John and Jamie were on totally different terms. John actually cared about Jamie's ambitions, and he supported his son in his political career. Back then, however, John set an ultimatum. He told his son to run for governor when the family would get the most benefit from his political career. But all of this changed when Jamie suddenly decided to run for attorney general without asking John if he has permission to do so. This is when John and Jamie's relationship took the wrong turn. After the inauguration party, Jamie and Beth get into a fight in the car. John decides enough is enough as he stops the fight, telling Jamie, "This is all your fault. This was never supposed to be me, this was supposed to be you. It could have been me. It should have been me," Jamie says. "I could have won." John says to his son, "Oh, I have no doubt. But then what? An already familiar name?" The band playing at John's governor's ball has been mentioned in the series before. I knew I've heard the name Shane Smith and the Saints before, and now I know when and where I heard it. Apparently, Yellowstone references the band before. Shane Smith and the Saints are from Texas and consist of members Bennett Brown, Chase Satterwhite, Dustin Schaefer, Zach Stover, and well, a whole bunch of other musicians. The band was previously mentioned in Season 4, Episode 3. Horse trader Travis Wheatley, played by Taylor Sheridan, who is, by the way, the creator of the series and has done a couple of cameos in his show, tells his fellows that he's going to play Shane Smith and the fucking Saints on the stereo for their journey back to 6666 Ranch. Interestingly enough, another new face in Yellowstone is the amazingly talented Lainey Wilson. Wilson portrays a musician named Abby who's apparently new to town. Now here's an interesting point made by Terry Wade in a video shared by Outsider. In a comment, Wade explains that he's very disappointed by the Season 5 premiere of Yellowstone because, as he says, Taylor Sheridan has absolutely no idea when it comes to Montana locations. According to the viewer, the Dutton Yellowstone Ranch is filmed in Darby, Montana in southwestern Montana. Wade further explains that Paradise Valley, where the ancestor Duttons built the Yellowstone Ranch, is also in southwestern Montana, near Bozeman on the west side of the Rockies and Continental Divide. So I'm having difficulty with Kayce being on the Canadian border on the Milk River, which is located on the northeastern side of the Rockies Continental Divide, near Browning, Montana when his wife goes into labor. Apparently, he says to her that he's going to call an ambulance to take her to the hospital in Billings, which is on the eastern side of the Rockies 121 miles away. The viewer then makes a point that there are hospitals in Bozeman 29 miles nearby. To make things worse, she doesn't wait for the ambulance but decides to drive to Billings while in labor. The viewer finishes his comment saying that fans found it difficult to believe that Kayce drove the 355 plus miles from the northern border to Billings in such a short amount of time. After Monica loses her baby in a car accident, she remembers Kayce's vision. Kayce and Monica ended Season 4 on a good note as they discovered they were expecting a second child. However, their happiness didn't last because Monica lost her baby when she tried to drive herself and her son Tate, played by Brecken Merrill, to the hospital. When John arrives in the hospital, Tate tells him the baby boy was going to be named after him. In the second episode of the 5th installment, Monica questions Kayce once again on the vision he had in the previous installment, which makes him say the words, "I saw the end of us." "When you said you saw the end of us, is this what you saw?" Monica asks, to which Kayce answers, "No, baby, I never saw this coming. This won't be the end of us." He then mentions something about, "You need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future." Monica then says, "What will?" To which he replies, "I have to choose the end of us. I will never choose that," meaning that he will now do everything in order to keep his family safe and destroy everyone who wronged them. See you in the next video.